Trouble! Two cars around, one in the wall.
Watch your inside. Block her down.
And we have a caution.
Welcome back to another edition of the Cautions Out with Randy the Plumber and Parker Man. What's going on, Parker?
Oh, not much. Today we have Travis Braden. Travis, man, what's been happening?
Hey, guys. Doing well, hanging out here for the rest of the month, it seems like, quarantining, but ready to get back racing.
Where are you hanging out at, bud?
Well, believe it or not, I'm in the campground right across the street from Charlotte Motor Speedway in my RV. And I've been stuck here. I've been stuck here for like 3 months. So
I've been in that campground about a dozen times, and I know exactly which campground you're talking to, and I know what's right down the road from there too. But we won't talk about that.
All right. Yep.
I've ventured in that place a time or two, also.
I'm almost positive I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So you just chilling in your RV, hanging out, waiting for some racing to get going.
Yep.
So I know you ran an ARCA a little bit for a couple of years. So what's your plans now? What you got going on, man?
Well, I guess the easiest way is just to start by explaining why the hell I'm in an RV anyway. What am I doing here? So I was racing for the past 2 years or so in the ARCA series, driving for a team out of Indiana. And, it was a great opportunity. And I've done super late model stuff for years on the side as well. And I just got to the point where I really felt like I needed to be down here, in North Carolina. Everybody that's in racing and stock car racing is here. And I've wanted to do it for years, just wasn't in a position until now. And so I took the opportunity. The only way I could do it financially, make it feasible, was to just live in this RV temporarily, hopefully temporarily, and make the move. So I came down here in January, and it wasn't but a couple of weeks later all this kind of started. But, the goal was to come down here, kind of shift focus away from the ARCA series and kind of towards finding some sponsorship to race in NASCAR. And in the meantime, my favorite all-time type of racing is short track racing and super late models particularly. So, my goal was to do a lot of that this year, and that's looking like it's going to hopefully still happen as long as all this stuff doesn't take a turn for the worse. But if so, I guess we'll just spend more time in this campground. If so,
I guess that's one way to look at it.
I'm ready to get this thing moving. It's got to be just about out of fuel. The generator, the heater, the hot water and the heater system runs on diesel. Yeah, and it's been sitting here. I had it full when I pulled in, but I haven't checked it, so it's got to be about out of fuel.
well, we don't want you to run out of fuel there, buddy.
No.
Yeah, man, hold on, you got.
Parker, you know who we got up in here?
I don't know, man. Let us know.
We got the Snowball Derby champ.
Man,
Okay.
Do you know how many special people that have actually become champions in the sport have won the Snowball Derby, man? Travis, tell us a little bit about what it's like to have your name in that list.
Yeah, I mean, that is really the coolest part about it. The event itself was, amazing. We finished second originally and obtained a win by disqualification, which is never really how you want to win it. But, it was a successful day regardless. But I'll be honest with you, the coolest part about the whole thing is when people, kind of talk about, and it's not just about me, the team, my surroundings, the people that have brought me up in life and in racing, to be on that list, all those people are kind of under my name, right? And then you look at all the other drivers' names on that list for 52 years, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is, and I know you're very proud. Well, I know that it was won by disqualification, but that's a legal win too, because
A win's a win.
If there wouldn't have needed to be a disqualification, then something happened where we had to have a disqualification. So it's still a win, and you should be very proud of that. And the list that you're sharing that with is just crazy to me, and I know that's got to blow your mind.
Yeah, I mean, you go from, again, 52 years of history, dated back. You got guys like Darrell Waltrip on the list, and you got guys like Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Eric Jones,
Yeah.
Nemechek, all those guys in recent history. I mean, you just look at the last 10 years alone. I'm the only guy on the list, I think, that's not at least in Xfinity or higher. But that's what I'm saying. It's cool. It's cool for me, but in all reality, if people could see more about the team that I've driven for and how all of us came together from a local racing standpoint to get to this point is a really cool story. Too long of a story to tell on here, but
Yeah.
true grassroots deal, and that's what makes me probably more proud than it does out of my own accomplishment.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, that's quite an accomplishment, man. That's serious. I've been to the Snowball Derby, and it's a serious race. It's not not playtime. I mean, that's as serious as anything gets other than Cup. I mean, if you got to label a race, hey, this is a bad to the bone race, and it's not a Cup race, but it's pretty darn good.
Oh, it's great. And you know what I always tell people that don't know anything about it, that'll put it in perspective, is probably the most intriguing part of the whole event is 2 days before the race on qualifying day. Because you have this whole week of practice leading up to it. Everybody's stressed out because you have to qualify in. The past few years, there's been over 60 cars and only the top 30 make it in the race.
Yeah.
And so it's single car qualifying. It takes like 3 hours to do all this. And you talk about stress. I mean, the from the pole to P30, which, believe it or not, I was P30 in qualifying this year. The last guy in was like less than 0.2 of a second. So you go look at any Cup race qualifying in the past 30 years and find a race where the top 30 were less than 0.2 apart, I'd be surprised. But if there is, there's very few, and that just kind of puts it in perspective. Come race day, you got some guys that go home that are superstars, and so the guys that are in that race every year, it's a spectacle for sure.
Yeah, well, I know I've enjoyed every time I've ever been there. It's a great track. I mean, the history is just crazy, amazing.
Fun city.
Yeah,
it's a fun city. The town, everything. You're not far from the beach. You got McGuire's Irish Pub and all kinds of cool places to go see.
Oh, he done brought McGuire's up now. He done brought McGuire's up now, and I was trying to forget about what happened to McGuire's. I might have.
What did I do?
A little too much up in McGuire's.
They still know his name.
You're not allowed in the front door, huh? We got one of those posters.
I'm allowed in the door, yeah, but it's I don't want to talk about oh my gosh, man. That's about some of the crazy stuff that happened up there at that place I was talking to you about just down from the campground there at Charlotte or Concord rather. But yes, so what else is going on in your life? I know you're happy to see NASCAR going back.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking good for hopefully this stuff to at least start back to that capacity, with no fans and limited practice or no practice or whatever. It's just good to see it kind of start back. From a very serious standpoint of the economy of racing, like we really have to go back racing, or it's going to start to really hurt. So it's so good to see. I'm hearing a lot of the short track stuff is probably going to stick starting at the end of this month. I don't think we're going to have to keep canceling too many more of those. So, I'm in a pretty lucky position, but I know so many people that aren't. And, this has been hurtful, but I think if we could just kind of move forward a little bit, a lot of people might be able to recover, but we need to do it quick.
Yeah, and what's crazy to me is Cup is going to unload their cars, push them to the grid, hop in them and take off. Man, this is like the stress that's going to be on them teams trying to pull off these fast pit stops with all the adjustments it's going to have to. I mean, you think, there's got to be a lot of adjustments. Oh, yeah. My gosh, dude.
I think it's going to actually put on some good racing, really everywhere, but especially the short tracks. The big tracks now, they're kind of wide open and they have such good aerodynamic packages that I don't know it's going to matter as much. But the short tracks, I think you'll see somebody that's going to be really fast, maybe start off the race not fast, miss the setup a little bit and have to come back through. You'll see, Martinsville, places like that. I just think it's going to be really fun to watch. Not that I would want to be in that position, but for entertainment value, I mean, it will be entertaining.
And it's Darlington too, one of our crown jewels. I mean, it's the schedule is amazing. A lot of people, and I'm a NASCAR fan. That's what I'm known for, is being a NASCAR fan. Parker's a NASCAR fan. You're a NASCAR fan in the beginning, and you want to be a driver, and that's great. But for years, a lot of people have been thinking that NASCAR's forgotten about us, that NASCAR hasn't listened to us, and this and that and the other. Well, NASCAR is really showing their love right now with this schedule. I mean, they didn't have to put a schedule together like that. It's 7 races in 11 days, man. I mean, can we even say that out loud? 7 races in 11 days, 4 cup races. Is this not the craziest thing you've ever heard?
All the races, both of those 2 first venues, Charlotte and Darlington, are great tracks for cup cars. I mean, it's cool. And we've all been talking for the past few years, it seems like, about weekday racing being a possibility in the future. Now we have no choice. So, and there's no choice but to of course it's on TV, so it's going to be the only thing on TV live. And it's a really great opportunity in some ways. It's not what we all want, of course, and it's still not ideal, but it'll be interesting to see how this changes the future of NASCAR permanently, because I'm pretty sure it will in some ways.
I think the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to gain millions and millions of fans. All right, nobody's going to have anything else to watch. It's going to be the only live sports on TV, and it's just almost insane for me to think about the exposure of my favorite sport, which NASCAR is my favorite sport, hands down, no questions asked. I've been to 3 Major League Baseball games in the last 15 years. I've been to 2 NBA games in the last 20 years, but I don't even know how many races I've been to. I can't even keep a count on them and all the different tracks I've been to. So I'm excited about what it's going to bring into the sport. And maybe we look up in a year from now and every race is sold out again. That would be just like the most fantastic thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, and that's the thing. It'd be cool if we could capitalize on the kind of the downtime I'm sure that the broadcast may have, to show people that are probably going to be tuning in for the first time what will make a race so fun to attend in real life. Like Talladega, or some of these Bristol, some of these places that have great race day experiences that's thrilling and can be fun for an entire weekend, let's say. We need to make sure we show people what that's about, because that's something that a lot of people don't necessarily realize, I think, when they've never been to a race. I know personally myself, I've been to a lot of races, of course, but I've also taken people to a lot of their first races. And every single time their answer is always, wow, I can't believe, I didn't know this is how it was, and I love it. Even people that maybe aren't into cars and all that stuff, they still like it. It's still fun. And so it's all about, it's one of the things that people want to be negative about NASCAR. I mean, no one's perfect, and they've done things right and done things wrong, but we've kind of gotten away from highlighting ourselves, I think, a little bit in the sport, and this is a good opportunity to kind of get back a little bit of what we might have lost.
Well, if they've done something wrong, they're sure making it right now. I mean, they're giving us 4 cup races in 11 days. I don't know if my heart can handle that. I mean,
I think, isn't it? Oh no, it's 7 total races and 4 cup. Yeah.
7 races, 4 cup races in 11 days.
You're gonna need a ventilator.
I may need one of them ventilators that Trump's got.
Yeah.
I may need one, because I'm gonna tell you, I can't believe what's fixing to happen. I mean, it's like
it's gonna be history in the making.
We got no sports. Everybody's bored, out of their freaking minds.
Then all of a sudden,
7 races in 11 days. Holy cow! And they're gonna unload and run.
You had iRacing getting as good of ratings as some of our real races, the real races we're getting. So I can only imagine how this will be received.
I think Darlington on the 17th is going to be the most watched sporting event probably in history, because it's the whole world is starving for sports. The people in Australia, the people in England, the people everywhere. Everybody loves sports. We don't think about that a lot. but there's people in Puerto Rico that love NASCAR, and we don't sit and think about all this that often. But the whole world's fixing to come together and watch a race.
I didn't think about I didn't think as much about the overseas stuff, but that's a good point. Especially now that so much of this stuff can be streamed, because a lot of countries might not have Fox, but they can get on the internet and watch it. So
yeah, and I mean, it's going to be the middle of the night for some parts of the world, and people may watch it on replay, but it's going to be live sports. It just happened. And I really think that every country, all over the world is fixing to have unbelievable amounts of NASCAR fans. And I love it. Yeah. I think when we go to Talladega, if we go to Talladega this October, there's going to be people from all over the world there. It's not just going to be us rednecks no more. It's going to be people that we can't even understand what the hell they're saying, and we're going to welcome them in with open arms because the sport needs it.
Hey, I've been on Talladega Boulevard, and about 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't understand what anyone's saying anyway. So
I think I ran into you.
I'm sure you did. I guarantee you've seen Baby Jess at the Boulevard. You just didn't realize it. But
yeah, we get hammered over there. That's just all you can say. But I tell people all the time, I said Talladega's a party. There happens to be a race.
They have a race at the end of it, right? Yeah.
There ain't no race on Wednesday night when we show up. There ain't no race on Thursday when we're partying. We throw it down, and then there's a race. Race is secondary at that point. But have you ever been to the Geico campground at Talladega? Been through the Geico campground?
Which one's the Geico?
It's across the street. It's free. Anybody and everybody can camp all they want free of charge. If you've never been over there, man, you owe it to yourself to hop a golf cart and take off riding through the Geico campground. There's a stripper pole back there. There is a stripper pole in the Geico campground, and it's a real deal. It's not a joke. I mean, it's just crazy what goes on.
I might have to. We talked about originally our original schedule for the whole season with the late model stuff. We weren't going to be racing when Talladega raced, so we were going to go, take the camper, go, hang out, and do the whole thing. So we don't really know how it's going to play out now, but if we could do that, we'll just pop into the Geico campground. Sounds like. Well,
yeah, and it's free now. There's no power. There's no running water. It's just a field. It's a cow pasture. But, man,
perfect.
Dude, we'll be there. If Talladega happens, we're going to be there. And I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to bring the cart. And, oh, man, dude.
All right.
Caution will definitely be out.
We'll help document a little bit of it, because that's the thing. We got to document all this so we can
we're
not show anyone what we did.
We're actually filming a documentary at Talladega. If Talladega happens in October, the camera crew's following me around. We're going to do a documentary. Now, I want you to think about that, how crazy that's going to be to watch, because you unleash me at Talladega with a cooler full of beer, it's done. It's done.
And we're basically egging you on at that point. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Oh, my gosh. Nobody can imagine the amount of hell that can be raised at Talladega, because that's what we do is we like I say, it's a party, then there's a race. It's
really is.
I tell people, too, it's a family reunion. Talladega is a family reunion of good old Southern folk, and nobody cares about what nobody's doing. We just all have a great time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a good time. And, I mean, we talk about it being a little crazy, but it still is, families can bring their kids and stuff on race day, or if they know the right place to camp a little bit away from all the craziness, it is very cool. I've only actually gotten to go the last 2 years, my first 2 times.
Yeah.
And I was racing in the ARCA race, so I was kind of limited to how much time I could spend, but it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Parker, what you doing over here? You falling asleep or what?
No, man. Travis has got me on the edge of my seat, dude. Let me just say, Travis, I got a question for you. I asked Ryan this a couple days ago, but growing up, I had a lot of friends, but none of them were really big into NASCAR, right? They would say, well, here we go, oh, another left turn. Well, here we go, we're coming through the turn, oh, another left turn. Now, what would you have to say to those naysayers to, get them to watch NASCAR?
That's a good question. I mean, I think a lot of people would look at it like on a highlight reel on ESPN and say, yeah, like they're just going in a big circle. And what's the deal? I mean, I can drive a car in a circle, right? Anybody can do that. But, I think, again, it comes back to the whole experience. Every time I've ever seen someone go to a race, even like a short track, and they see the cars go around the track for the very first time, you immediately understand because you realize how humans are taking a car and driving it at basically out of control speeds. And then they stick like 40 of them together, inches apart, and they do that for like 3 or 4 hours at a time. It's really easy for people to see. So I always just tell people that, if you're completely against the idea of it and the fan base and all that, then you're not meant to be there. Don't go. But if you're asking the question like, well, why would I want to? Then that probably tells me you might want to if you had a good reason. I would say just go try it out for a weekend at a race somewhere, whatever's the closest track. And I think take some friends and take some friends, have a good time, do your own thing, just camp out for a weekend at a NASCAR race. Just go camping for the weekend, but do it at a NASCAR race.
Well, I got the man to do it right here.
Yeah, we I don't remember when I get back home what all happened.
We need to set up an entire, especially at a place like Talladega, you need to have your own little place, right, where you can have everybody put on your own show, your own stage.
Oh yeah, we're going to do it, man. And also, we have plans to host the largest beer pong tournament in history at Talladega in the Geico campground. Yeah, I want to have Guinness Book there.
I can tell you that'll sell some tickets. So
yeah, I want to have Guinness Book there and have it over in the Geico campground. That way, everyone can attend because everyone can't go everywhere at the track, but anybody can walk across the street and walk right into that campground. And I just want to throw the biggest beer pong tournament in history. I don't know how big that's got to be, but we want to do it, and we want Talladega to be known for it because we threw a pretty big one 2 years ago. We had 150 contestants or so.
Wow. Well, let's do it. We can find some tables and get them all lined up, along 100 yards of beer pong going on.
That's right. Get some cornhole going. Have all kind of craziness going on. But hey, I got to show you that stripper pole, man, that sets up in that campground over in the back, dude. There's 15,000 people back there gathered around that thing.
Really?
On Friday night, Saturday night. They don't even go to the big one on the boulevard. They're like, man, the heck with that. This is where the party's at right here. So, but yeah, it's a ton of fun. But I look forward to seeing you there. We'll be there in October if it happens. And I hope it happens. I need it to happen. I need to get to a race because I need my fix. I'm addicted.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, like I said, if we could possibly go in the fall, we'll probably go ourselves. Normally that's on the same weekend as another big race that we do in Indiana, but you never know. This year it could be all changed up. So.
Well, I'm gonna be counting on it, man. If you can be there, because
all right,
we're gonna need as many fun people as possible.
All right, I'll bring my girlfriend Jess. When you meet her, the last 2 years she's found herself at multiple points during the weekend up on people's stages dancing, and I mean it's she draws a crowd, so we can have some fun.
When I go over there, we tent camp in Geico. We just pop a tent, and man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I want to be around the tent campers, and then when I wake up, I come out of the tent drinking a beer. And when I go to sleep, I'm drinking a beer. There's no stopping in it. There's no stopping in it. But it's a lot of fun, man. Well, buddy, we appreciate you coming on with us, man, and talking about what's going on in your world. And we look forward to seeing you at a race or two this year.
All right. Well, you guys keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for talking a little bit about what I got going on. And I'll be keeping in touch when we get back racing. You guys keep up with what I'm doing, and I'll keep up with what you're doing.
No doubt.
We'll get together.
All right, buddy. We appreciate you.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
All this other shit you never thought you would see. Denny Hamlin has had his face put on a mask. Look at this shit. This is classic. Only Denny Hamlin can pull something off like this. This is freaking awesome. Look how white his teeth are in his mask. Holy shit. That is badass right there. Oh, Kyle Busch, you fixing to have Chase Elliott's foot up your ass, son. You better run. You better get out of your car, and you better haul ass, son. But Denny Hamlin's the winner tonight. He deserved it. It might have rained. They might say he won it by rain, but he won that damn race, son.
Welcome back to the Cautions Out. We got a couple of crazy mofos up in here right now. We got a damn Kyle Busch fan, Fred. We got a Chase Elliott fan, Steven. And Steven and his magnificent fucking beard. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But what's going on, guys?
Not much. Enjoying the day, drinking some beer. Still pissed off Kyle Busch, little bitch ass.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I mean, you know, let's don't even wait for the damn introductions. Let's just dive right in, Steven.
But I mean, I don't know how else to put it. That was a candy ass move.
You talking about last night when he wrecked Chase Elliott?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were referring to. Was, you know, last night, since it's fresh on everybody's brains, he just took a right turn and wrecked the shit out of Chase Elliott.
I'm glad you seen exactly what I seen.
You sound like a robot. Fred, what you got to say, man? You want to apologize or what?
No, I don't want to apologize. I just, I pretty much knew that he made a mistake, man. That's it. I mean, you know, champions can make mistakes. You know, Chase probably wouldn't know much about that because he ain't a champion yet, but he'll learn. Once he's a champ, he's gonna make mistakes too. You know?
Here we go. We cooking this shit over here, son.
But I mean, hey, I called it right away. I mean, ain't nobody.
But you knew he was gonna wreck him right away. What you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Ding ding, round one just started, bitch.
I'll drink to that.
It looked to me like he wrecked him on purpose.
It was totally on purpose.
Now, I was just watching the race, you know. That's all I was doing.
I tell you what, I don't know. I mean, to slam a guy that hard with your right front with 30 laps to go when you made up the track position that he made up, had a fast car, I'm pretty sure he didn't do that on purpose. I'm pretty sure he misjudged it, and I called it before he even did the interview. I said he was planning on ducking in behind of him, saw he had momentum.
He had enough room to put a car and a half in between him and whoever was behind him, whoever it was. Who was it? Clint Boyer?
I think it was Kevin Harvick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Harvick.
Kevin Harvick.
Yeah. Well, Steven, it sounds like he's saying it wasn't on purpose. I don't know.
It was on purpose. I don't know how else to even put it. I mean, if he's such an experienced driver, and if he really wanted to duck in behind Chase, he could have done that. But apparently he's water-headed. I don't know.
It's water-headed. Oh, Fred, you're pulling for a waterhead. Fred with his giant middle finger over there. I mean, that is a giant damn middle finger. What does that thing say? 2015, 2019 Cup champion? Is that what that says?
Yeah. That's my art teacher said I wasn't gonna amount to shit, but man, did I show her. Check that out.
That is one giant damn middle finger. But last time I checked, Steven, Chase Elliott didn't have any championships, man. It appears it appears we got a two-time champ in Kyle Busch.
That pretty much win that shit by wrecking people because he gets pissed off when people pass him.
Oh shit! Steven's stepping in this shit. Fred, are you smelling it? Because he's all off in this shit. He's buried up to his fucking knees in this shit. Do you smell it?
I smell it.
Man.
Give me a beer.
Chase had that race last night, won, and I don't give a damn if they got rained out. Within 3 laps, he would have passed for the lead. If some crybaby back bitch didn't wreck him.
Steven ain't playing around over here. He's spanking your ass, Fred. He's got the whip out. He's spanking that ass, baby.
Yeah, is, man. I'll tell you, I'll just have a lot
Because you know you wrecked them on purpose.
I mean, you know, I could get into how. Well, I watched the replay here this afternoon, the race, and I did see a few incidences between Chase and Kyle on the track earlier in the race. So, but you know, being that Chase declined the interview because he's too much of a puss, I guess we'll never find out what really happened on the track.
He just called Chase Elliott a puss, son.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bill was over there in his mobile home with him saying, son, you need to calm down before you get a fine because I know you can whip the fuck out of Kyle Busch. Don't waste your time.
Woo!
Damn it.
Gloves, you know,
The gloves are off.
we both know. I don't know how long y'all been following NASCAR. We both know that Bill Elliott didn't take no shit from nobody. He'd throw a hand in the heartbeat.
Yeah, he would. He would. I've been watching it a long time, before Bill Elliott and a long time after Bill Elliott. Yeah, he didn't back down from a challenge. But see, Fred still got that giant middle finger over there looking at you, though. Look at that damn thing. That is fucking magnificent, son.
He can have the biggest Simpsons finger he wants. I don't give a damn.
Oh, shit.
Fred, in your defense, or how did Ricky Bobby say it? What did he say? He said, you can't say that and then say whatever you want. What was it? He said it right before he said, it wasn't no offense taken, in all due respect.
All due respect.
In all due respect, Fred, and this is with all due respect, so that means you can say whatever the hell you want after you say that, according to Ricky Bobby. With all due respect, Fred, I think that he just called you out on that Kyle Busch shit.
I'm pretty sure he did.
With all due respect.
With all due respect, yes, that makes it okay. But I'm pretty sure he did, man. But I'll tell you, I got to go back to, you know, what was going on in the race. And I just can't see a guy with a car that dominant slamming somebody like he did. I mean, yeah, he slammed the shit out of him. I mean, why in the hell would he do that on purpose? If we would have ran that race after that rain,
because Chase's car was more dominant than his. That's why he slammed the hell out of him.
Hey, Freddie's got an answer for every damn thing now.
Yeah, he does, man. Yeah.
I think what happened is Kyle Busch didn't see him. That's what I think happened. Now, how he didn't see him, I don't know.
I know. I mean, I got to believe exactly what Kyle said because I called it before he did his interview. I drive a truck for a living, and that ain't nothing like NASCAR, but it is a little something like it. You've got momentum. You've got, you're steering with the throttle. There's all kinds of things that are similar, and I've got millions of miles under my belt, and I'm telling you right now, I'm one of the best damn drivers out on that fucking road. But I'm telling you, I about made a mistake today, misjudging somebody's speed. I mean,
so you're better than Kyle Busch, is what you're saying.
I'm telling you that's what he was doing. He was judging to duck in behind him because he knew he was getting past. All he was doing was looking at Harvick because he knows Harvick ain't going to give him a fucking inch. That's the last guy you take your eyes off of. So he was looking in his fucking mirror and thinking, okay, Chase is by, even though he didn't even fucking look because he was too busy looking at Harvick with the run. And that's what happened. He fucked up. So
that's what happened. Steven, you hear it? That's what happened. So
that's what happened.
Yeah. Even though he could have fit a car and a half in between them two. I was watching the replay. I was watching the race. Watched the replay 3 or 4 times. That's a car and a half length right there.
Well, Steven, what I think he's trying to say, and this is with all due respect again, okay? So I can say whatever I want to say now. With all due respect, I think he's trying to say that Chase Elliott slowed the fuck down.
Ain't no way in hell.
Well, he said he was judging his speed, and all of a sudden he was slower than what he thought. So it sounds like he's saying that Chase Elliott slowed down.
No, it sounds like more to me like he's just making an excuse for his driver, and he didn't want to finish 5th instead of 2nd, so he just laid the son of a bitch in the wall.
Oh my gosh, man.
Chase had a run. Chase had a good run. He had momentum. And I'm telling you, he was fixing to either run into the back of Denny or he was going to pass him. Okay?
He was pushing Denny. He was pushing Denny to the front.
So when he comes by Kyle, Kyle gets looking in his mirror to see if there's enough room between him and Harvick, and he's
Right, I got to make this. Oh, there you go.
He's doing that robot shit again.
He was making damn good fun of Kyle Busch. He's talking about, I think I can make this. Woo! Hey, on another note, have y'all ever drank Drip Drop?
No.
Well, you need to try it. I'm drinking some Drip Drop watermelon, and man, I'm telling you, this stuff is good. I could drink 2 gallons of that sitting here. Drip Drop. You need to try it. It's a rehydrator, especially if you ever hung over. If you ever hung over, you just pop one in the morning, shit's gone in like 15 minutes. I don't know what it does, dude. It does some crazy stuff.
Chase probably uses a little bit of that.
I usually drink red beer.
I heard.
You try you some Drip Drop, man.
You might want to tweet that to Chase. I heard he's got a pretty big hangover today.
Round 2, ding ding, baby, ding ding. Steven, you got any comment on that one?
I don't know if he's got a hangover or not, but I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. That was a waterhead comment by itself. I mean, I don't know where he come up with that.
He damn sure knows how to use his middle finger. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I thought he was going to throw the Hans device. I am a robot. You sound like a damn robot. Womp, 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 womp. You sound like Charlie Brown's teacher over here.
Color scheme last night. You know,
okay, I can understand you now. Now you froze, but we can only see like your hand or some shit, but whatever.
Well, what? Can you hear
Fred,
me?
I don't know what to say about that.
I was saying Kyle Busch had the right color scheme last night.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch what? Kyle Busch what? I missed that.
He had the right color scheme last night. You know, dressed in all purple.
I noticed that mask he was wearing, one of the little spots on it said, "Forgive me."
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he forgiven, Steven?
Hell no.
And then we had the Xfinity race just a little bit ago, and he tried to win that one, but he didn't wreck the old boy, and I was happy for him. Oh, if he'd have wrecked him today, if he'd have wrecked Briscoe today, all hell would have damn broke loose.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was saying.
Hell would have broke loose.
I was saying that the last 5 laps. I go, please don't wreck him, man. Please don't wreck him.
Hell, Briscoe was about to wreck himself. I mean, he had it on the edge of insanity.
That was some good racing right there, man. Kyle Busch aside, I don't care. Just 2 drivers getting at it, and they were respectful to each other. They raced hard, and they touched and stuff, but they weren't, too crazy. But, man, that was some good
Well, I'm going to
racing.
tell y'all something, and you can agree or disagree, but that wreck that happened last night, nobody got hurt, okay? And when nobody gets hurt, it is what it is. But nobody got hurt, so we can talk about it. That wreck that happened last night, we needed that wreck. NASCAR fans needed that wreck because the first race back at Darlington was okay, but it wasn't over the top. And then that race last night was over the top, and we needed that. We need that rivalry right now that's fixing to spark between them two. Man, it's going to be good for the sport. I mean, it's all punches aside, we got to all be able to agree that wreck was needed.
Yeah, I've seen that on Twitter repeatedly today. People saying that this is what we need. We finally got something going. Hey, whatever I can do to support NASCAR and the NASCAR community.
Yep. Well, I think it sparked a lot of interest.
I I would have loved for the fans to be at that race last night because I would have loved to hear the chant, "Fuck Kyle Busch," coming from the stands.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, fuck Kyle. Damn, that's shit. There wasn't nobody there to chant nothing.
Yeah. Could you imagine if there was? Maybe that would have turned out. Maybe that would have turned out differently. Maybe we wouldn't have just had a conversation.
Yeah. Well, what that wreck caused is it caused one of NASCAR's most successful drivers and NASCAR's most popular driver to create a rivalry last night, and that's damn good for the sport.
Yeah.
Steven's still all bent up about it over here. Look at him. He's butt hurt, man.
It is what it is. I can't go back in time and change it, but I do Chase had that race. There's no – you can't tell me anybody else besides Kyle Busch fans knew Chase had that race.
Well,
I'm pretty sure most Kyle Busch fans would say Chase had that race.
I'll tell you. Hey, since you brought it up, I think he would have won it. I mean, I'll tell you, he had a fast car, man. And the whole race, not just at that moment. He had a fast car the whole race. So,
Fred, are you conceding victory to Steven?
No, I would never do that. Hey, second place is the first loser, so I would never admit to being a loser.
Hey, you ain't first, you last any goddamn way.
Trademark Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, that's trademark Ricky Bobby. Now you got me. Oh my gosh, man! Chase got out of that car. I thought he was going to throw that freaking Hans device. I really thought that's what he was fixing to do. I wasn't expecting the bird.
I was expecting the helmet through the damn window net is what I was waiting for.
Yeah. I don't know why he didn't do his interview, though, man. I'd like to have seen him do his interview last night.
I think he's just too hot, too pissed off. You know what I mean? It's probably better he didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he might have said some things that he might regret in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
I know we've all done that a time or two.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's start wrapping this thing up. Steven, what you got left to say? We'll give you a first shot here.
I pretty much think I said everything I wanted to say because I was straight to the point and made old boy there speechless.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh boy!
Come here, old boy!
I've been speechless since last night, man. To be honest with you, I'll tell you, you're right. I'm speechless. You know why? Because I'm a Kyle Busch fan, and ain't nothing gonna change about that. He'll always be the biggest piece of shit to Kyle Busch haters, and there's no way around that. But I'll always be a Kyle Busch fan, no matter what.
As long as you are loyal to your driver, that's pretty much all that matters.
That's all that matters in the NASCAR world. Everybody's family at the end of the day. Let's don't forget that. Talladega is still the biggest family reunion in the United States.
NASCAR,
You're a robot again. I am a robot. I hear a damn robot.
That's that Mississippi internet.
Hey, I got Mississippi internet. Mine's just fine. All right, guys. Well, y'all be good. I appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk to you next time, man.
Appreciate you, Steve.